सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुर सुधारे बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारे बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संहारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुमरो जस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर देवपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोहि अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अश्व जय हनुमत बलवीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई। कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई, जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंधि महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवनतनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। भीम रूप धरे असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे. We had seen how Bhagavan brings down the pride of a devotee in several ways. He did it for great people like Bhima, but for sadhakas like all of us, every now and then he keeps doing it. So the asura here is not some asura outside. Bhima Rupa Dhari Asura Samhare, that asura is our own Abhimana. Different prasangas, the main message is the same. The prasangas we had seen were Dhanush Bhanga Prasanga, not being able to lift the bow. Lakshmanji was not lifted even an inch by Meghnad. Meghnad could not lift Lakshmanji. Hanumanji very casually brings him back. That prasanga. Angadji putting his foot down. Nobody can move his foot. Third prasanga. Then Kenopanishad, blade of grass. Nobody can burn it, nobody can blow it. All of that is a reminder that the real master is the Lord. Whatever abilities Jiva has, it has come from the same Bhagavan. If he has given it, it can be taken away also. The moment we get proud of those things, Bhagavan sometimes gives a glimpse that this is all your strength is, this is all your ability is. If it is working, well and good. But don't forget this fact because of whom it is working. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the beginning portion itself, Arjuna is weeping at the feet of Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira says, I have never seen Arjuna crying. He says, what are the things that could have happened? He gives a long list. And the list is, what actions lead to diminishing of teja on a person? Means if you do what, the brilliance on that person's face will go away. He gives a long list. He says, did you speak a lie? Did you do some adharma? Did you insult some good person? Like this, Yudhishthira gives a long list. He says, did any of these mistakes happen through you? Then he says, Arjuna is somebody whom I know he will never commit any of these mistakes. Then he says, did Bhagavan take away his avatara? Then Arjuna starts profusely weeping at Yudhishthira's feet. And he says, I took Bhagavan for granted. When he was with us, I used to joke with him. I used to casually say, oh, you are telling me to be truthful and you are a great Satyavadi, huh? As though he is a friend, he would joke. And he thought he fought Mahabharata war and he won the war for Pandavas. There Arjuna says, I had the same Gandiva and Bhagavan gave me a small task. of taking few people from Dwarka safely to Hastinapur. Ordinary cowherd boys came. In their play, they defeated me. Ratha was the same. Gandiva was the same. I could not save ordinary people over here. That is where it is said Arjuna's Linga Sharira Bhanga happened. Linga Sharira Bhanga means his subtle body, identification with Abhimana, identification with Ahankara, that knot of the heart got opened. And it is said whatever knowledge he had gained during Bhagavad Gita, that knowledge became clear to him at that point. When Bhagavan asked him, Nashto Moha, or he said, has your doubt gone? Arjuna said, Nashto Moha, Smritir Labdha. But actually speaking, it takes time. We have to go through certain life experiences by which that Abhimana is brought down. Meaning Jivan Mukti is only after this Ahankara dissolves. That is the prasanga, that is the portion there. The spirit is the same. Bhima Rupadhari Asura Samhare. Otherwise it looks like a simple story. Hanumanji came, tried to lift, or Bhima came, tried to lift Hanumanji's tail, it did not lift. That is all. But the symbolic meaning is very deep and it spreads across several stories, wherever such prasanga has come. This point also we saw in the last session, right? Every story will have 3 layers of meaning. One is the historic meaning. That we should not discount. Don't say that Bhima never came. Hanumanji was never doing that Leela. That is in its own place. The second interpretation of that is, in the world today, we also see Abhimana functioning in that way. So many great problems we can list. Really speaking, the problem is not outside. Problem will boil down to somebody's Abhimana. Puja Gurudev has given one talk called Planet in Crisis, United Nations. There is a clip of 10 minutes. And it's so beautiful. He connects all the topics of contemporary challenges down to our own individual and selfish desires. This problem is not created by animals, birds. They are actually living their life very well. When Abhimana comes, that Abhimana is what causes all problems. But the antidote for that is not to fix somebody else's Abhimana. Yes, I know precisely all these people at the top have a lot of Abhimana. I'll work on their Abhimana. His second message was, you change, world around you will change. That was his beauty. Identified the problem correctly, but gave us the solution also in the right way. If you start from top down, it's a frustrating activity. Futile, frustrating activity. He says you start with your own mind and then you see how the world changes. And really speaking, if we observe our own experience, we will notice we see the world through the glasses that we wear, colored by the glasses that our mind wears. I had shared this story somewhere, right? I don't remember whether I shared it here or somewhere else, but anyway, if you have heard it, hear it again. There was an elderly lady who was sitting on the outskirts of a city. One youngster, he is moving from his village to this new city. He comes and asks, how are the people in this city? This elderly lady says, how are the people in your village? He says, all of them are very nasty. So hard to work with, so hard to live, very rude. He says, people here are also like this. City people are also like this. Then another youngster comes. This lady says, he asks this lady, how are the people in this city? The youngster asks. She says, how are the people in your village? People in my village are very good, very nice, very cooperative. Whenever there is help needed, they will step up without anybody telling them. It is said one society is like water, another society is like grain. What do you mean water and grain? If you take a scoop out of grain, you see the side grains which are there, they come and fill up that spot. But if you take a scoop out of water, you don't even know where you took the scoop out and when the side water came and filled it up. This healthy society is like the later one. People are ready to help each other in such a way that nobody knows who helped whom and how work was done. The grain one is, you do something, then you wait for somebody to come and help. That means help comes, but after some time. And you still know where that thing was scooped. He said, like this people are in my village. What does that lady tell him? People in the city are also like this. They are also the same. Means the lens with which we see the world, that is how the world appears. So that abhimana, if it is there inside us, we will see the world also with the same lens. But sadhana is to work on our ahankara. That is the asura, bhima rupadhari asura samhare. Next one was the Sanjivani of Lakshmanji, who went all the way, brought the Sanjivani, saved Lakshmanji's life in time. Hanumanji saved Lakshmanji's life in time. What was the symbolic meaning of Sanjivani? Satsang, or the right perspective. The arrow that hit Lakshmanji was Veera Ghatini Shakti, different experiences which take enthusiasm away. And this right perspective is such, unless we do thorough shravanam, we will not know which perspective I need when. Okay, so that is why entire mountain he has to lift, entire mountain he has to bring. That is the symbolic meaning of thorough shravanam. Not sporadic shravanam here and there, something which is done thoroughly. Next, 12, 13 until 15 we'll chant together. It is one theme. रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई, सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे, अस कही श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि को विद कहीं सके कहाते, श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा. The whole idea behind this 4 Chaupayis is the importance or the glory of stuti. Stuti means praise. Stuti is something, whatever thing we praise, and if we have reverence in the person who is praising it, our mind will naturally want to go and know more about it. Both things should be there. Huh? Person should be doing praise also, and you should have reverence in that person. You should believe that person's words. For example, if I tell you, in Berkeley, there is a vegan Japanese restaurant. Generally, sushi to find is very difficult. But if you have a Japanese vegan, that is the only place where you can try sushi also. Now, if you have reverence for, or if you have desire for sushi, desire for Japanese thing, if you go there, you'll at least try to think. If you have to decide, of course, another thing what you need is faith in the words also. He has gone there, he's not just making up. That is what Stuti does, not only with food, so many other things. People who do Ayurveda, moment they start talking about their Ayurveda practice, and you are also looking for something similar, suddenly you start inquiring, where is that doctor? What are those things he has prescribed? Everything is play of praise only. It can work for good things also. For example, if I tell you, if you go to Vrindavan, there's a great Mahatma Ji, spending few minutes with whom you will feel as though you are gone to Tirtha Kshetra. Mind will get recharged just spending few minutes. Great tapasvi. Now both things, you have to have reverence for Mahatma, faith in words. Next time when you go to Vrindavan, you'll try to see, at least if you have few minutes, you'll say, let me see if this Mahatma Ji is there or not. So whatever we praise, mind feels like inquiring more about that thing. And second thing is, who is praising? If it is some ordinary person saying something, you say, anyway, he keeps praising so many things, this also he is praising. But if it is some revered person praising, then our respect for that thing which is praised, that increases. If let us say who is ordinary listener to music, he comes and praises the performer. Now, audience appreciating performer is good. But if some renowned singer, he appreciates that performer, then based on who is praising, the respect we get for the person praised is high. Many people's life is set just with one word of praise from such a performer. This I had heard in one interview, one of Bhimsen Joshiji's student. He was sharing this. In one place, Bhimsenji, he said, if at all anybody has to continue my lineage, it is this person. Only this much he said, after that my life was changed. Because his stuti is so powerful, who has done it, the one who is praised, their glory increases. Now here, different people are doing stuti of Hanumanji. What should happen? Whatever is being praised, our reverence for that particular thing should increase. And second is, who is praising? So by looking at all their names, our reverence for Hanumanji should increase even more. Now look at the list. First person to praise Hanumanji is Bhagawan Rama, the one on whom everybody meditates, one who is the Lord of the universe. He is praising Hanumanji. Raghupati kini bahuta badhai. And how does he praise? Tuma mama priya bharatahi samabhai. He says, you are as dear to me as Bharatji. Bhagwan loves this comparative praise. He could have just said, you are dear to me. He says, no, you are as dear to me as Bharatji. When he has to praise Lakshmanji, when he has to praise Hanumanji in front of Lakshmanji, he says, Hanumanji, you are twice as dear to me than Lakshmanji. And Naradji loves, to take message from here to there, from there to here. He goes to Lakshmanji and says, did you hear what Bhagavan said? He has a new favorite, Hanumanji, and he loves him twice as you. Lakshmanji says, if Bhagavan has said it, he will say it only when he doesn't see any difference between me and him. Means he has so much of faith in me that in spite of saying such a statement, he knows I will never misunderstand. That is his first understanding. Second, he says, what Bhagavan said is true also. My mind was devoted only to serving the Lord. But Hanumanji served me and Bhagavan Rama. Hanumanji served Lakshmanji, Hanumanji served Bhagavan Rama. Then naturally he has to be twice as dear to me. Hanumanji has to be twice as dear to Bhagavan Rama than me. Because it is one thing to serve the master. It is very different to serve Sevaka of the master. That is why Shatrugna ji, really speaking, if you look at his name, he never fought with any Shatru. Only one Rakshasa he killed. And what is his name? Conqueror of Rakshasas, Shatrugna. But it is said he conquered the greatest Rakshasa inside. That Ahankara, which has surrendered to serving the devotee of the Lord. Bharatji, he was his dasa. Serving Bhagavan Rama, many people did. To dilute that Ahankara so much, dissolve that Ahankara so much, that you are serving devotee of the Lord with the same bhavana. He says he doesn't have any more Shatrus. That is why his name is Shatrugna. Tuma mama priya bharatahi samabhai. Bhagavan says you are twice as dear to me for Lakshmanji than Lakshmanji, but for Hanumanji and Bharatji he says you are as dear to me as my brother Bharatji. Bharatahi sama. You are just like Bharatji for me. Then who are the other people? Sahasa badana tumaro jasa gave. Sahasa badana means Shesha Bhagavan, one who has 1,000 heads. Badana here means face, one who has 1,000 faces. Shesha Bhagavan, Lakshmanji. Shesha Bhagavan's avatar is Lakshmanji. He praises Hanumanji. Asa kahi Shripati kantha lagave. Saying this, Bhagavan Rama embraces Hanumanji. Means beyond this, there is no other result that anybody can seek. You remember there were two bhaktis we had looked at before. One bhakti was called as Markatavat Bhakti. Markatavat Bhakti means devotee has to hold on to the Lord. You never know when he will slip, when he will fall down. Another bhakti is Marjari Bhakti, where the kitten has no fear of falling down because the mother is holding on to it. So Asakahi Shripati Kantha Lagave means that conviction where the devotee knows that my Bhagwan will never let go of me. That is the bhavana, that is the depth in his devotion. Asakahi Shripati Kantha Lagave. Next Chaupayi is very interesting. Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisa Narada Sarada Sahita Ahisa. This is another group of people who are praising Hanumanji. In our scriptures, there are two categories, okay? One type of category, or one path, if you want to say, is Pravritti Marga. Pravritti Marga means what? People who are more outgoing, more into Karma Yoga, social work. Good people, but on Pravritti Marga. Second path is Nivritti Marga. More withdrawn, more contemplative, meditation. That is their path. And the thing is, for both these groups to praise the same person is almost impossible. Let us say somebody is very outgoing, hardworking, karma yogi, does lot of social work. Pravritti Margis will praise him. What they will say? Look at him, living such a dynamic, productive life. Nivritti Margi will say he has lot of rajas. His mind is very agitated, very extroverted. That is why he is doing all these things. So Pravritti Margi will praise him, Nivritti Margi will criticize. Second option is, let us say somebody is Nivritti Margi, very withdrawn, mind only in meditation, contemplation. Nivritti Margi will praise. They say this is how our journey should be. This is how it should be, contemplative, reflective. Pravritti Margi, they will say, what is the purpose of having a human body? You should do something productive. So this Chaupayi is so beautiful. He says Hanumanji is somebody whom Pravritti Margis also praise, Nivritti Margis also praise. Really speaking, there is no conflict. That is what we have been saying in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter. One leads to another. And if somebody is Siddha Mahatma, abiding in truth, they can choose to be engaged in the world. There is no conflict anywhere. So Hanumanji is somebody who embodies this perfect balance between both. Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisa, the mind-born sons of Brahmaji, they are the ones who are praising Hanumanji. They are the ones who are praising Hanumanji. And what do Sanakadi Munis represent? Nivritti Marga. Right when they were born, they took sannyasa. Brahmaji created them so that they can do vistara of Srishti. He said, I need your help so that this entire creation grows, it multiplies. He said, Father, you keep your creation with you, we are done. Walked away. And very Tejasvi, very brilliant, always in Vedanta discussion. Guruji says there are 4 people, right? So they are never short of audience. One becomes speaker, other 3 listeners. After some time, second person switch, continuously in Vedanta. For such a great Nivritti Margi to praise somebody like Hanumanji, he says, look at the greatness of Hanumanji. That is why we did the introduction. Why do we praise? Depending upon who is praising, we know the greatness of the person who is praised. Then, Narada Sarada Sahita Ahimsa. Naradji, main purpose of life is to create devotion in the hearts of people for Bhagawan. Sarvatmani Akhiladhare iti sankalpaya varnaya. He says how you should teach in such a way that devotion for the Lord is instilled in the other person's heart. This is Naradji's motto. This is how he does lot of prachar work. So for one who is in Pravritti Marga, they praise Hanumanji. Those who are in Nivritti. Naradji's example of Pravritti. Heavily engaged in the world. Cannot stay in one place for more than a short while. That much of Pravritti he has. He also praises Hanumanji. Ahisa means Lord Shiva, Shankar Bhagwan. Narada Sarada Sahita Ahisa. Ahisa again, if you take Sheshanag, it's already praised before. Their name already has come before. So here Ahisa represents Lord Shiva. Jama Kubera Dikpal Jahate, Kabi Kobida Saki Kahi Sake Kahate. Yama, Dharmaraja, Kubera, the treasurer, Dikpalas, all other devatas, everybody praise Hanumanji. His qualities, his virtues are very divine. Kabi means different people who are into foresight. Means Sanskrit etymology of Kavi is Krantadarshi. One who can look at an ordinary thing but bring out something extraordinary. Poetry should be like that. We also see sunrise, sunset, but no poetry strikes. It might, to few people. At least to me, it does not. Don't feel offended if you are a poet. But same thing, a poet he sees, he says it is Bhagawan's smile. And he will write so many things based on that. In one place I'd heard, this poet is saying, this whole world is like Bhagawan's Kavya. He is not writing poetry on the world. He is saying world itself is a poetry. He said, why is world poetry? He said, look at what poetry should have. It should have different rasa. Shringara rasa should be there. Hasya rasa should be there. Shringara means different emotions. Beauty. Hasya is humor. Fear also should be there. Bhibhatsya rasa. Like this, all the 9 rasas should be there. He says, you look at the world and you see how it also gives the same rasas. Sometimes there is such a nice beauty. Sometimes it will make you laugh. Sometimes it will make you cry also. Compassion will be there. Karuna rasa will be there. So he says this world is a poetry of the Lord. If Bhagavan writes poetry, how will it look? He says, look at Jagat. These are Kavis. They also see the same world. They also see the same poetry, but they are able to see something beyond. That is why the famous line, Jahan na pahunche Ravi, wahan pahunche Kavi. Where sunlight cannot reach, there this poet can reach. Second one is, Jahan na pahunche Kavi, wahan pahunche Anubhavi. Where poet cannot reach, there a realized master can reach. Meaning he can transcend those areas which are beyond the limit of mind. He can go around, abide in that truth which is beyond this mind. That is why Anubhavi is beyond Kavi also. But such great Kavis, they sing the glory of Hanumanji. That is the main point. Kavi word is there, right? That is why we went into Kavi discussion. Kobida means one who is knower of Vedas. Kabhi Kobida kahin sake kahate. Okay, knower of Vedas, they also sing glories of Hanumanji. Now another prasanga from Kishkinda Kanda. Tumha upakar sugriva hi kinha, Rama milaya rajapad dinha. Tumha upakar sugriva hi kinha, Rama milaya rajapad dinha. Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Tuma upakara sugriva hi kina. There is a difference between kartavya and upakara. Kartavya means your duty. Upakara means one need not do it, but one still goes out of the way to do it because it is the right thing to do. That is called as upakara. Now if I work 9 to 5, 30 days a month, paycheck comes. I don't say my employee is doing upakara on me. It is his kartavya. Neither am I doing upakara on the employee, employer, neither is the employer doing upakara on me. But let us say I stay back after 5 to help somebody who wants my help. That is called as upakara. One is doing it because it is the right thing to do, and that is the only motivation. There is no injunction that you should do it. So like this for Sugriva, Hanumanji did great upakara. Tuma upakara Sugriva hi kina. What was it? He said he made Sugriva meet Bhagawan Rama. Rama milaya Rajapada dinha. Got him his kingdom, got him his position, whatever was taken away from him. Sugriva's story is very interesting. This comes in Kishkinda Kanda. Vali and Sugriva, they were brothers. And not ordinary sambandha. Very close sambandha, very close relation. So much of good understanding between both of them. One day there is a Rakshasa whose name is Mayavi. He comes and challenges Vali. Sugriva says, brother, it is night right now. These Rakshasas' powers grow. At night, don't unnecessarily get into conflict with them. Any Asuri power becomes stronger at night. That is how Asuri power works. So he says, don't go with that Rakshasa. Don't unnecessarily pick a battle with him. Vali, out of his pride, he says, what do you mean? This Mayavi, he is no match to my strength. I will go take care. You are very afraid for no reason. King should not be like this. So Vali goes, but Sugriva says, I will also come with you. Both of them go. Mayavi enters into a cave. Mayavi means he does Maya. So he enters into deep cave. Vali says, I will go inside and I will take care of him. But for any reason, I don't come out after 1 month. Then please make sure that you close this cave and go back to Kishkinda. He is not that strong that I will need more than 1 month to defeat him. If I take more than 1 month, then understand there is something else that has happened. Mayavi has defeated me. Don't put Kishkinda in danger. Close the cave and you go back. Do you remember any Amar Chitrakatha stories? Vali and Sugriva. He says, Sugriva waits there for a month. Then he sees a stream of blood coming out. That is when he starts thinking, maybe it is Vali who is killed and Mayavi has won the battle. As instructed, closes the cave, comes back to Kishkinda with a very sad heart. He had a lot of love for his brother. Now when he comes, everybody says, how can we have Kishkinda without a king? It can be a bad king, but at least we need a king. Without king, it will be very chaotic. Nothing can move. Not that Sugriva was a bad king. Generally, the thing is, a kingdom with no king is more chaotic than a kingdom with not so good king. So they say, we need a king. We cannot just keep this king's throne empty. So Sugriva says, okay, if that is all you want, I'll become the king. And few days pass when he is sitting on this throne. Vali comes. Then he sees Sugriva sitting on the throne, does not give him a chance to speak. Directly starts blaming him, accusing him. He says, you wanted this throne, that is why you orchestrated this whole drama. You came with me, you went there, you blocked me in that cave, everything he starts saying. Sugriva says, at least give me a chance to speak. I will explain what happened. He says, nothing doing. And Vali is so impulsive that he sends all his army behind Sugriva, takes away Sugriva's wife, and Sugriva is running all over the world, saving himself from Vali. In Valmiki Ramayana, the portion when Bhagwan sends people to the southern direction, the best tour guide as though is our Sugriva. He knows precisely where to go, where to take left, where to take right, which mountain will come, which pond will come. Bhagwan asks, how your geography is so good? He says, I've been to all those places, that is what I would do. Running away from this Vali, every place I have seen, and actually it is said, it is one of the authentic historic documentation of geography at those times. What Sugriva says, it is so detailed that you know precisely this place was there at even that time. So that was Sugriva's condition, always living in fear. He says, right now I am safe, don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Imagine his condition, imagine his state, so much of insecurity about the future. Then sometimes we look around the whole world for solution, but the solution is there right next door. Sugriva's case also same thing happened. Next to Kishkinda was a mountain called as Rishyamukha Parvat. That was the only place where Vali could not come. Vali was cursed by a rishi. Because once he had just thrown a Rakshasa whose name was Dundubi. It had fallen in that rishi's ashram and lot of devastation happened. I won't elaborate what happened. Rishi was very upset. He said, you are too proud of your strength. If you come to this Parvata, you will perish. That was the only place where Vali could not come. So Sugriva says, this is our best spot. Let us be here. He had Hanumanji, Nala, Neela, Jambavanji. All the best people were on Sugriva's side. That was one good thing that happened to him. If you have the right advisors, good friends, even in difficult times we can go through. Other one is very dangerous. Times are very good and we have the wrong advisors and erroneous friends who will always praise us, always tell good things. If they see any shortcoming, they will not point it out. He said, that is not the type of friends we want. These points Bhagwan only says. We will come to that point. So where are we right now? Vali is sending all people and Sugriva has come finally to Rishyamukha Parvat. Then one day, Sugriva sees two people walking up towards Rishyamukha, but he is very confused. He says, who are these people? Before he can think anything, he starts feeling it is somebody sent by Vali. Again he starts feeling afraid, tells Hanumanji, please go and find out who these people are. Hanumanji takes Brahmana form, goes down. First he tries to guess looking at their physical appearance. He says, you both are looking like Kshatriyas. But yet you are having jata. And you are having the clothes of a Rishi Muni. Your face looks so calm. But your build is like Kshatriya. So he says, who are you? Are you some king? Are you some great Rishi Muni? Or are you Nara Narayana? Both of them who have taken avatara? Or are you that all-pervading Lord who has taken avatara to remove all sorrows of people? Bhagwan says, who is he? He's already guessing who I am. I thought, my plot was flawless. Nobody can know who I am. But he already is recognizing me. Bhagwan very casually says, no. I am son of Dashrath Maharaj looking for my wife Sita ji. And this is my brother Lakshmana. And he asks Hanumanji, who are you? Hanumanji says, if I ask this question, it is okay. You cannot ask this question. Means Jiva can have the question, who is Ishvara? If Ishvara has the question, who is Jiva? He says, Bhagwan, with your grace only we are thriving. With your grace only we are living. And if you start questioning, who is that person whom I am supporting? Bhagavan, you cannot ask it. Only Jiva can ask. Bhagavan is very happy. He praises Hanumanji's speech. Vakpatutvam, buddhirbalam yashodhairyam, nirbhayatvam arogata, ajadyam vakpatutvam cha, hanumat smaranat bhavet. He says this vakpatutvam is not possible unless somebody has studied all the Vedas. So Hanumanji, Bhagavan Rama praises. Then Hanumanji says, now see his upakara. Huh? He could have said, Bhagavan, let's go. I was looking for my master for so long. Finally I have found you. Let us just go. He says, no, Bhagavan, my friend is there, who is the king of monkeys. And he is a great devotee of you, Bhagavan. Unless you meet him, his journey is not fulfilled. Whom is he talking about? Sugriva. And both the things he said about Sugriva are erroneous. Who is the king of monkeys at that point? Vali. He is on exile. Sugriva is running from one mountain to another mountain. And what was the second thing? Great devotee of the Lord. He was so afraid looking at Bhagavan, he sent Hanumanji to find out whether he has been sent by Vali or not. But such kind of statement is called as bhavishyat vrittya. Means if you have put your one foot on the right path, it is only matter of time you will reach your goal. He says, Bhagavan, he saw your darshan. Why doubt anything? He says he is the king of monkeys and he is your great devotee. Means he is going to become king of monkeys. By seeing you, he has already become your devotee. You know, it is just like when kids join medical school. Right on day one, relatives start calling them doctor. I don't know if you have seen, I have seen it. This is called as bhavishyat vrittya. Means you kept your first foot in the right direction. It is only a matter of time you will reach your goal. So here also he says, you have taken the right step. He has seen you, Bhagavan. He has already gotten whatever he has to get. Then you must have seen the picture where Hanumanji is carrying Bhagavan Rama, Lakshmanji. Carries both of them to Sugriva. Lights a fire. Then forges a friendship between Sugriva and Bhagavan Rama. This is Guru Rupa of Hanumanji. Takes a Jiva to Ishvara. He says that is the role of a teacher. And then from Sugriva's side, Hanumanji recounts what all things happened. And from Bhagavan Rama's side, Lakshmanji recounts what all things have happened. You see, so much similarity, both our stories. Sugriva says, my wife is taken away. Bhagavan says, Sitaji is taken away. Then he says, both of us can help each other. That is our friendship. Both of us can help each other. Bhagavan, you don't worry. I will help you. Who says? Sugriva. And Bhagavan says, you also don't worry. You let go of all your worries on my strength. Sakha tyagu sochahu sabamore. Sababidi ghataba kajame tore. He says, give up this worry on my strength. I will accomplish everything that you want to accomplish in your life. Sugriva says, Bhagavan, I have faith in you, but you don't know Vali. He is much more powerful. So I will give you some test. If you can take it, then I will believe that you have strength. Bhagavan says, okay, you tell me what you want. He says, this is Dundubi's carcass. So huge heap of bones were there. He says, can you clear this? What is the Chaupayi? Dundubi asti tala dekharai. Binu prayasa raghubira derai. Without any effort, he just cleared all that entire carcass of Dundubi. Just with touching his toe, he cleared it. Sugriva says, Bhagavan, I have to test your archery also. Then he gives another task. some markers he puts on trees and he says, if you can hit all these markers, then I will accept. Bhagavan does everything without any questioning. A lot of the universe, taking test from Sugriva. Then Sugriva says, Bhagavan, now my mind is totally surrendered to you. I have no questions, no doubts. My mind is totally surrendered to you. Everything else that we do in life is actually an obstruction to your devotion. He says, wherever this mind goes in other things, all of that is an obstruction to your devotion. Now I have decided I will be only devoted to you. Bhagavan laughs. He says, this Sugriva, I know him. First time he surrenders, very quickly he can go here and there. Bhagavan says, okay, very good. He doesn't say it loudly. Then he says, okay, you go and fight Vali now. Sugriva goes and calls Vali. Now Vali says, this Sugriva who was running away, now suddenly he is coming and challenging. Vali's wife, what was her name? Tara. She says, this is not Sugriva talking. There is somebody behind him on whose strength he is speaking. Don't challenge him right now. But Vali had this abhimana. He says, you are always like this. Always afraid, always weak. So what is there to fear? Vali had fought with Ravana. Vali's son is Angadji. When Angadji was small, he had put Ravana on the top of his cradle. And Angadji would play with Ravana. Later on, when Angadji goes and puts his foot down in Ravana's court, Ravana asks him, do you know who I am? He says, right from childhood I know you. When I was little I had seen you. Are you that same Ravana? So twice Ravana got defeated. One was with Vali, second was with Sahasrabahu. And only those pain points Angadji brings up. He says, you are that same Ravana, right? So that was this Vali, had lot of pride. Ravana I conquered, Kailasa mountain I lifted. The one who lifted Kailasa mountain, that Ravana I conquered. What is this Sugriva? So he goes to fight, round 1. They have this semi-final and final, right? Round 1, both of them fight. Sugriva and Vali. And Sugriva thought everything is good. He goes there, challenges Vali, starts fighting. But go to see Bhagavan is nowhere to be seen. Gets beaten up very badly by Vali, comes back. Have you seen that movie, Hanuman? There they have dramatized this so beautifully. All ice packs, other monkeys are putting on Sugriva. He comes back. He said, Bhagavan, what happened? You told me you will fight on my strength, go and fight against Vali. See what I'm, beaten up. But in that movie it is shown very nicely. Bhagavan just puts his hand. All his pain goes away. Right after that, second round. Again he goes to fight Vali. Bhagavan says, this time when you go, wear this garland. Source is Amar Chitrakatha again. Wear this garland and you go. Then he goes second time, and when they are fighting, Bhagavan sends the arrow from behind a tree. And that was it. Vali gets hit by the arrow. See, sometimes we have a lot of questions about this prasanga, but we should pay attention to what happened later. Vali says, Bhagavan, I have heard you are Samadarshi. You are equanimous. How come today Sugriva became dear and I was different? Bhagavan says, I am equanimous only. Based on your karma, I give karma phala. So you should not be surprised why this result came. Because that Sugriva who did not do any harm to you, you gave him so much of trouble. Wife you took away, so much of abhimana you had. That is why this karma phala has come. Then Bhagavan also offers him, if you want, I can give you the same Sharira back. Same body which you had before, that I can give back. Vali says, Bhagavan, so many people do so much tapasya to remember you at the last time. And here you are standing in front of me. May I not think about anything else? And saying this, Vali gives his prana, attains moksha in the lap of Hanumanji. That was the prasanga. That is when Vali attains Sadgati. He says, Angadji is very well taken care of. He is in your shelter. I don't have to worry about Angadji. That is this Chaupayi. Tuma upakara Sugriva hi kina, Rama milaya Rajapada dinha. Then Sugriva is coronated as the king, and Bhagavan gives him all blessings. But as I said, one part of the story is historic. Second part of the story is symbolic. What is the symbolic meaning of Sugriva? What is the symbolic meaning of Vali? If Sugriva did not do any mistake, why did he have to go through all those experiences? What is the role of Prarabdha? What is Purushartha? What is Krupa? What is grace of the Lord? Why did he get defeated in round 1? What was the symbolic meaning of winning in round 2? All of that we will see in the next session. This I learned from TV shows. जानने के लिए देखिए अगला एपिसोड. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम.